All right, guys, welcome back to this video. So today we have a special one. We're here with Anthony Dulonc, one of my all-time favorite clients. I feel like I say that for every single client because every single one of my clients is amazing. But Anthony specifically has an amazing story. He went from 0 to 12K in like 6 months, starting his home interior design agency. He's absolutely crushing it. You know, just an amazing guy over in Arizona. He was in the military. He was a firefighter. He drives a sick truck, and he also has like a bike too. But we'll get into that. But honestly, at this point, like me and Anthony are just boys. We like hang out in Arizona all the time. But dude, you want to introduce yourself? You know who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Anthony. I'm originally from Montana. I moved down to Arizona when I joined the military, and I was just kind of chilling in the military for a little bit, and then I got closer and closer to my separation date. Realized I didn't want to be in the military anymore, but I still needed to make money somehow. So I tried all the little side hustles like drop shipping, crypto, stocks, all of it. Nothing really stuck, and then I stumbled across SMMA, and then Jeremy popped up on my Instagram feed one day, and the rest is history.
Nice, man. Nice. Dude, I love that, bro. I love that. Like, where were you before joining? Like, were you like dabbling into like agency or like the SMA space? Like, did you know about it? Like, where were you before like joining?
I knew about it, and I had been doing cold outreach for probably about a month and a half, and it was just exhausting, and I felt like I was getting nowhere. Sending hundreds of emails a day with no responses.
Yeah, dude, like I've been there too. Like, I've been at a point where I sent like 20, no, I not sent, but I booked like 22 calls in a week, and all of them had no money, and they were like, who are you and what do you do? So you can make cold email and cold DM work. Like I've scaled to like 0 to 7K with it, let's say. But like to scale sustainably, like you just can't do it. Like I've been at a point where like I even hired VAs to blast cold DMs with my account, but like it just sucks. Like I'm assuming even when you started out, like everyone would tell you just like to piss off, you know, which is what
Yeah,
I
nobody knew who I was, and I had no case studies, no referrals, no nothing.
dude. Yeah, which do you remember which ad you saw of mine before you joined?
I believe it was a follow ad,
Yeah.
and then I was like, this dude looks pretty cool. Looks like he might have some good knowledge. Followed you, and then sure enough, 5-10 minutes later, you were in my DMs. So doing your thing.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy just looking back because I remember that call recording. I don't know if I have it recorded, but I remember that call, and like who knows, like who would have thought the amount of lore we could have had? Because again, like me and Anthony, but we're literally just friends now, and like we go around in Arizona. We were just hanging out a few weeks back playing golf with my acquisition manager and a few of my clients. But dude, like the transformation that I've seen with you specifically was like it's heartwarming. Like it's amazing because the story that you've had, like first you're in the military, firefighter, and now you just have a freaking 6-figure business. Like bro, like you have stacked lore. Um, but dude, like what made you feel like you succeeded rather than like other people not succeeding or in the agency space? Because there's tons of agency owners out there. Like what made you feel like you had the edge?
Honestly, just having enough discipline and trusting the process.
Yeah.
Like there's days where it's dry and you feel like you're just wasting your time, and then next thing you know, a week later, everything just clicks, and then you just got to keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Because sometimes it sucks, you know? Like, I remember I remember saying this on another interview, but dude, I went to a point where I went on like a solo trip to Big Bear by myself because I literally wanted to quit. Like, that's how much it takes, like mentally, in order to like really scale this business up. Like, yes, it's having a good offer, having a good traffic funnel, getting good at sales and appointment setting, and just knowing that whole thing. But dude, like if you can't have the mental barrier to like not have a 9 to 5 job and really rely on your own skill set to make your income, like it's a lot. And I feel like a lot of people just can't take that, you know? Um, but dude, yeah, like what does it feel now? Like, cause I know you also like want to do some more offers, but how does it feel like once you've actually hit that like 10K threshold?
It's incredible. It's weird because, like, I mean, I make more money a month than some of my coworkers do in a year,
Yeah.
and it's just like I was able to get myself out of debt completely. It was like 35K because I had my motorcycle, I had my car, I had a personal loan that I took out when I was young for some reason, and then just credit cards, and I had all that paid off within that 6-month time frame. And like I said, now this year my goal is to trying to get my mom a brand new Yukon and trying to help my dad kind of pay off the mortgage for the house and stuff like that. So that's my big goal for this year. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't take a risk.
Yeah, bro. I love it. Like, what about the program like stood out? Like, what made you want to enroll? Because I know a lot of people, especially younger people, like they're scared to invest into a program, especially like there's so many out there. Like, what made mine like the one you wanted to go for?
I would just say your overall drive, because you just wouldn't give up on me. And then when you told me the price of your offer, I was like, that's kind of a lot. But then I thought about it, and I was like, no, because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in the same place I am now next year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had the money, so I was like, I'm going to invest it in myself, in a community, mentorship, all of it. And investing into it gives you that extra little edge of like, okay, now I have some skin in the game. So now there's no going back.
Dude, yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that because like you had more money than me when I first started out, like into joining mentorships and everything. I had like $700 to my name and I had to use my mom's credit card to like buy a coaching program. And like you didn't pay in full either. So like my thing is like I know exactly where some people are at and I'm happy to meet them where they are. Like my program is expensive, but like this might be like a bad thing to say, or not a bad thing to say, but like contrary to popular belief, but like I'm happy to do split payments because like if I know for a fact that like I can get someone scaling, and if they have a certain amount of money in the bank, if they join my program in the next 30 days and take rigorous action, they can just make their money back. Like I don't mind doing that, and that's what happened with you. That's what happened with Joel. That's what happened with Jacob. They didn't have the most amount of money to fully start, and now they're like swimming in cash because they found a funnel that works. Like I used to be in debt too with like business, and what took me out of that was just having a good funnel. But dude, I'm happy to see that because like yeah, their transformation was insane from like starting out from now. But dude, like there's a lot of familiar faces now like in the community. I remember we went to again like Arizona. With my acquisition manager Zach, we went with Ethan. Are you still living in Arizona right now?
Yeah, I'm still in Tucson for about another 4.5 months, give or take, and then I'm gonna try and look for a crib in Phoenix.
Nice.
Because I'm trying to move to Phoenix for a couple years and enjoy the bigger city, because Tucson's kind of ghetto.
Dude, I remember you told me like that you found like bullet holes, right? Or like you heard shots.
Yeah. Funny story. There's a Circle K across from my apartment complex, and there was a shootout there one night, and one of the stray bullets killed one of the tenants in my apartment complex.
Dude.
And that's when I was like, ooh, I might need to figure something out.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah. Tucson that's next to U of A, right? Or is that different?
Yeah, U of A is in Tucson, but U of A is a little bit up north, so it's a little bit nicer. I'm down south.
Yeah, lots of wild stuff in Tucson, I assume then.
Yeah. Tucson's very interesting.
Yeah, you should try out living in Tempe.
That's what I want to. Tempe or Scottsdale?
Yeah. Actually, bro, I'm going to be in Arizona Friday night to Sunday, so you can come down to Tempe.
This Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to work. I got to work the whole weekend.
Okay, no worries, but...
They got me overtime since they know I'm getting out. They're like, you know what, screw this guy. We're just going to do whatever we want with him.
Yeah, bro. Do you want to share, like, what that's like being in the military and running, like, a 6-figure agency? Because, that's crazy. Because I remember you sent me a Slack, like a Slack message, and then, like, you closed, like, a $1,500 deal, and it was, like, you in, like, all your gear. Like, do you want to share what that's like hopping on meetings and being in, in the military?
Yeah, so I'd say the biggest thing is first starting out, it's a real learning curve, because obviously everyone has group chats nowadays. Everyone follows each other on social media. So when I started posting on my Instagram, all my coworkers were just making fun of me. And I was like, honestly, I don't care what you think. And then 6 months later, I got deployed to the Middle East. And I was like, I need to keep this momentum. I can't just stop now, because if I stop, I'm going to lose all of it. I'll be back at square one when I get back stateside. And then, I was taking phone calls in the middle of the night because it's an 8-hour time difference. So it's midnight for me, and then it's only 4 o'clock for 4 p.m. for people stateside.
Yeah.
And there was one night I was on a sales call, and the base had got attacked, so I just ran in the bunker, still on my sales call, just trying to finish up this piff. And then 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, it had passed over, and we were able to leave the bunker. And then that's when I sent you that picture of me just in a t-shirt with my full body armor on.
Dude, that's crazy. Close a piff all the way, and then you just go to freaking war.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Are you with like, what do you call it? Like firefighting? Do you still do a little bit of that too?
Yeah, so so my whole job in the military is firefighting. So once I get out of the military, I'm probably not going to pursue being a firefighter, at least not for a couple of years. It's always a plan B. My certificates and all my, I guess, experience doesn't really expire. It can always be a fallback plan, but I'm sticking with plan A.
Yeah. Dude, I think you're like
It was fun. It was fun to be a firefighter for the last 6 years, but I'm ready to close that chapter.
Yeah, dude. Like, you're a prime example of someone that's like absolutely busy but still making it work, because there's a lot of people in the space that they're unemployed, they have all the time in the world, and they even have like some savings too to invest into themselves, but they still don't make it to that 10K threshold. Like, what made the program like get you there, but also like what made you get there?
Honestly, my fire chief told me one day, he said, it's going to be a lot of late nights and early mornings. And I know it sounds cliche, but that's honestly the truth. Like 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep some nights. And then I leave my Slack notifications on for the Nomad Consulting, because whenever I see other community members getting, piffs or uploading YouTube videos or just general comments, all of us hyping each other up, it's that little bit of extra motivation of like, even when I don't want to do something, like there are other people out there who also don't want to do it, but they're still doing it. So then that kind of pushes me to tell myself I have to do it, because I don't want to fall behind the curve.
Yeah. What about the program was like most impactful, you think? Like, was the offer portion that I helped you with, like creating the offer? Because you started at raw zero, like you didn't have the niche in place. Like, was it the offer, the traffic? Like, what about it specifically, you think?
I would say the offer and then driving the traffic, but then a close second is going to be the community as well.
Yeah.
So, because like having that offer and then running ads is just a game changer.
Yeah, bro.
It's a little bit more risky because obviously you're spending more money to run those ads, but I'd rather spend $20, $30 a day to run ads, so I have inbound warm leads versus spending an hour or two sending cold emails or cold calls and just people not even taking their time out of the day to hear me for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. Also, like, it's a proven ad framework, so like it's gonna work. They're not just like spending money and like it's not gonna work. Because I've had calls with people that are like, yeah, bro, I have 6K, but I'd rather use that for ads. Like, bro, like you don't even have your offer in place. Like, what makes you think you can run a proper ad funnel? So I'd rather you use that money to, one, join, second, to have money for like a proper ad framework that works from the start. If you have $10 a day, which is like a Chipotle bowl, to run ads every single day, which is, I don't know, like $300, you have enough money to scale to 10K a month. And then once you're at 10K, you can increase your ad spend, get to 30K. Then once you're at 30K, hire a team and everything like that, maybe just an appointment setter, and then get to 100K. So like, you pretty much don't need that much money to start. Like, the best thing about sorry,
bloopers go crazy.
All right, guys, my camera just died, so I had to plug it back in again. But as I was saying, like, the best thing about coaching is like, it's high profit, it's high margins, and it's high impact. Like, you don't need a lot of money to start, and you're optimizing for high ticket. Like, you can close like a $6,800 deal. Next day you close another like 4K deal, and then you made 10K in 2 days, and you spent like $100 on ads. Like, it's the best thing. And you're taking someone from like 0 to 10K, which is like super high impact. In your case, you're taking someone's interior design company from like completely like out of the blue, nobody knows who they are, to like an established company. Also, I'm curious, like, why did you choose interior design?
Honestly, that's a crazy question, and I still think about it to this day because, being from Montana, working odd jobs in high school, it was always construction, roofing, siding, excavation, whatever. And I was just kind of doing my market research from your program, and I feel like there was always somebody who was trying to already do those blue collar jobs, like even in your program, like Noah started with, I think it was roofing or flooring, and he was like one of 3 or 4 guys who were in the same niche. And I know now I know that a niche is never too saturated, but when I was doing my research, it just seemed like nobody had been really helping interior designers. And then you pointed me towards Joel when he was doing bespoke furniture companies, which is essentially the same thing. And now you have Lucas in the program doing interior designers as well. So I definitely think it's a little bit of a sleeper, but if you play your cards right,
Yeah, bro.
you can do pretty well.
What are like 3 things that you'd say to somebody that's just starting out? Like maybe they're looking at other niches and they want to scale to 10K like in, I don't know, like let's say 6 months. Like what would you tell them? Like 3 things.
I would say number 1, obviously nothing is ever too saturated. I learned that from Alex from Ozzy. So whatever you want to do, just do it. So number 2 is trust the process, especially with like running ads. The one thing that you taught me that really, like, I'll never forget is trust the ad and it'll work. Like even if you don't get any traction for a week, the following week you could have 4 or 5 calls booked every day for the week from that one ad. So trust the process of your systems in place or your funnel. And then number 3, I would say get sales nailed down. You don't have to be the best salesman, but be good enough to get yourself to 10 or 20K a month, and then hire yourself a closer or 2.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have sales, if you don't know how to close somebody, you're never going to make any money. And I would say sales is probably the most important skill in the world, especially online.
Yeah, facts, dude. Because like you can have a really good offer, have really good traffic, but if you don't know how to close, you're just wasting money. So
Yeah.
honestly, like sales is like, yeah, like I didn't realize how important it is. Honestly, when I wasn't closing deals, I'm like, what's going on? Like these are qualified. My content is really good, and I'd rewatch the call recordings. I'm like, dude, these calls suck. Like I'd watch it with my mentor, and sometimes even so, like on group calls and everything, like I'll pull up the phone, or like sometimes on group calls and everything, like I'll pull up people's call recordings, and they'll be like nervous because like it's such like an odd thing to just see yourself.
It's so awkward, yeah.
It's
and
the
then,
worst.
And then having other people watch you too, it's a weird feeling, but just like anything, the more reps you get, the better you're gonna get at it, and then you're gonna be more confident.
Yeah, bro. Dude, but like, did you expect yourself to be at this position, like with your agency?
Ooh, I don't know. I knew I wanted to make a little bit of side cash, and by a little bit I mean like 2 or 3, because that's essentially my military base pay. So just $4,000 max is what I was looking at. And then my first couple clients, I closed them for like $997 a month. And then once I had the referrals and the case studies, I was like, okay, I can bump up the price. And then I was up to $1,500 a month, and then $2,000 a month. So it was just like I was getting higher qualified leads who could pay more, so that I didn't have to have as many clients, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like quality over quantity,
Yeah, having 5 good clients at $2K a month versus 10 okay clients at $997 a month. Like, I'd much rather take the 5 at $2K.
Yeah, dude.
Because then as far as the ads side goes, it's just so much easier to monitor and watch those ads perform well, instead of having to go back and double check everything and make sure everything's working as it should.
But also, like, on our first like meetings together, like, did you expect it to be like a sales call or anything like that?
No, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was like, I'm just gonna hop on this call, see what this dude has to say, and probably just never talk to him again.
Yeah,
obviously that wasn't the case.
Dude, like, what was it, like a hard close? I honestly don't remember. I'm just curious on how that call went.
I knew I was being stubborn the whole time. I was just kind of hearing you out, and then I remember you did the split payments. You offered to work with me in my situation, and I was like, that's pretty cool, because most people are like, it's X amount of money up front, and you were like, hey, I know your situation. We can do split payments for whatever X amount for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously within those 3 months, I had doubled, if not tripled, what the cost of your program is.
Yeah. So also like that's amazing, bro. Like, do you feel like you've had like a kind of like a mindset shift or like lifestyle shift from like making zero to like making 12K a month?
Yeah, lifestyle for sure. I definitely can do what I want without having to check my bank account. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then as far as mind shift, it's like now that I know, I can literally do whatever I want.
Yeah.
As long as I put my mind to the grindstone, I'm gonna do it.
Dude, yeah. Are you looking to travel anywhere?
Yeah, when I get out, dude, I want to get my passport. I want to go to Europe. I'm gonna stay away from the Middle East. I've been there a couple too many times,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't mind checking out like Colombia or Sweden for certain reasons. And then next winter, dude, I would love to hit like the Swiss Alps and just go snowboarding for like weeks on end.
That'd be sick, dude. That'd be sick. Yeah, I want to go to the Swiss Alps too. And last time I was there, it was like 2, 3 years ago. It was like in St. Moritz, but I didn't get to snowboard. It was insane. It was like a whole entire like lake, and it was like frozen, and they would drift like $50 million cars, like classic cars, just like on the lake. It was like the most insane experience. But yeah, that was like Switzerland, like an hour away from Lake Como. So like, dude, if you're down, we can do that again.
Yeah, like I said, dude, June I'm home free. I'm gonna go home for a couple months and just hang out with the parents, but I'm open to travel whenever.
Heck yeah, dude. But bro, like if you're in, like in Tempe, if you ever wanna, link back up from like Friday to Sunday, like let me know. I'll be there. I'll be with Zach and everybody.
What are you doing next month? Because I
Next
turned
month?
25,
Ooh,
and
25.
I have that weekend off.
Yeah, quarter year crisis. Life. I'm just kidding.
Quarter life crisis, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna be in California. Maybe I'll be in
Mhm.
Arizona. I think I'm gonna be in Bali on the 7th from the 20 something. But dude, if you want to come down to California, let me know. We can do something here. I'll invite Zach and everybody.
Okay. I'd be down for a Cali trip. I've never been.
You'll love it. It's insane here.
You guys are in Newport, right?
Mhm.
That's not too far. I think it's like a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Also, I'm curious, like, what would you, like, where would be like the next travel spot if, like, for you to actually like live? Would you live in Montana again? Because I remember you were talking about like getting a lake house.
Not yet. I'm definitely gonna probably settle down in Montana, but while I'm young and I've got no strings attached anywhere, I wouldn't mind checking out Texas or Florida. Honestly, just all the red states. I don't really mind going to a blue state, but I would say Texas and Florida are probably my top two after Arizona.
Dude, yeah, California is turning a bit more red, which is good.
I would hope, dude. There's no blue states. There's just blue cities.
Dude, yeah, that's facts. That's crazy. That's crazy. But dude, like, what would you say to somebody that is kind of fearful to join the coaching program? Like, they're like, yeah, quote unquote, I don't have enough money, or whatever they might be saying. Like, what would you tell somebody that would push them over a ledge to join?
Mm. Ooh, if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. And I think part of my mind shift for the military was, I think a lot of people see it as sort of a safety net, because you always get the 2 paychecks a month. You always have food, always have shelter, all that stuff. And I think a lot of people get complacent, and that's why they just do a full 20 years. And then when they get out and they try to go to a civilian job, they're just lost in the sauce, and they just don't know how to transition properly.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that to be me. So when the opportunity to join your program came, I was like, I need to do this now, because if I get stuck, I'm gonna be within 6 months of my separation date, and I'm not gonna know what to do. I'm not gonna have anything to fall back on. So I would have to probably re-enlist just to have that safety net of knowing I'm still gonna be making some money. And I was honestly just fed up with the military too. So I was like, I need to do it and just see what happens. Just take that leap of faith.
Yeah. And look where it turned out, It's amazing to see the transformation, bro. Well, you guys heard it here. 0 to 12K, from Anthony in 6 months. Absolutely amazing. But dude, it seems like we're closing the video. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
I'm just happy that I stumbled across you on Instagram one day when I was doom scrolling.
Yeah,
This dude named Jeremy Degg just popped up on my reels.
I love it.
So the rest is history. I hope everyone else can experience that too.
Amazing, dude. I'm happy for you. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.